Call the Thursday, April 2nd meeting order. Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Dr. Williams,
Present.
Mr. Payne,
Here.
Ms. Walker,
Present.
Ms. McLaughlin,
Here.
Ms. Cunningham,
Here.
Ms. Averett,
Here.
Mr. Graves.
Here. Next, we'll move to item 1.3, the approval of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Payne, second by Ms. Avery. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call for a vote.
Ms. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Averett,
Yes.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. McLaughlin,
Yes.
Ms. Walker, Mr. Graves.
Yes. Next, we'll move to item 1.4, moment of silence and pledge led by Dr. Williams.
You all can please stand and join in one more time. Moment of silence.
Thank you. Next, we move to item 2.1, approval of minutes. These are the minutes from the March 19th, 2026 regular board meeting.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Dr. Williams, second by Ms. McLaughlin. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call for a vote.
Ms. Averett,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Walker,
Yes.
Ms. Cunningham,
Yes.
Ms. McLaughlin,
Yes.
Mr. Graves.
Yes. Next, we'll move to item 3, consent items. We'll approve all together. Item 3.1, Arbor Day proclamation. 3.2, Mental Health Awareness Month. And 3.3, 2026 VSBA Business Honor Roll Resolution. Board, what's your pleasure?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve all consent items as printed.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Payne, second by Ms. Cunningham. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call for a vote.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Walker, Ms. McLaughlin,
Yes.
Ms. Averett,
Yes.
Mr. Graves.
Yes. Next, we'll move to recognitions. Item 4.1, recognizing Miss London McCadden, VSBA Student Art Contest winner. Come on up, Miss London. Miss London, come on up. And I'll turn it over to the superintendent.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Chair Graves, Vice Chair Cunningham, and members of the board. It's a pleasure to be here with you once again. I had the pleasure to assist and help with an amazing team for the VSBA art competition portion. And London here and her teacher, hurry up, Ms. Blackwell, wonderful from Park Avenue Elementary, won first place. So we're very proud of her because there were a lot of wonderful, beautiful pieces.
So your artwork is displayed at the state level, at the VSBA office. And this is Dear London McCadden, congratulations. It's a great pleasure that we inform you that your remarkable achievement as the first place elementary school winner for your region in the 26th Southern Spring Regional Forum Student Art Contest held in conjunction with the Virginia School Boards Association. Your artwork will be recognized as an outstanding piece at the state level. It will be displayed at the VSBA office in Charlottesville for 1 year, and then with the other first place middle school and high school. Mr. Payne is our Southern Region president. Would you like to say anything anything about the competition and how rigorous it was?
So, once again, congratulations. You had a lot of competition that was displayed at the conference, and we'd like to congratulate you and saying thank you for putting all your hard time and dedication into your art piece, and to your teacher and your principal. Can we give them a hand also?
Let's take it now. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here's your
Let's give Miss London another round of applause. Next, we'll move to item 4.2, recognizing Thomas Hungerland, captured Class 1 state title and pole vault. Let's give him a hand as he comes.
And I'm delighted to recognize this evening Thomas Hungerland. We've watched him do some it's amazing to watch. It was scary a little bit to me. I'm always thinking not good, but he is recognized as our Class 1 with a state title. In addition, was announced as the VHSL Indoor Track Class 1 All-State part of that team. So I'd like his principal to share a little bit about Mr. Hungerland as a track, and his coach is actually coaching track tonight.
And I know his coaches are very proud of him, and they would be here. We actually are competing against Chatham tonight, so they were not able to be in attendance. But I'm very proud of Thomas. His coaches are very proud of Thomas. He has worked tremendously on the pole vault, and it is, and like Dr. Harrison said, it is incredible to watch them, and scary also, but incredible. And I will not say how high he went, because when talking with him about it, he said he wasn't as impressed, even though he not only is the state champion in Class 1, he set the state record too. But then the next week, beat his own record. So, and this was an indoor track. We are currently in the outdoor track season, so hopefully there's another one coming down the road. So, very proud of you, Thomas.
And this reads for capturing the Class 1 state championship for pole vault and setting the new Class 1 state meet record in indoor track and field, in recognition of your outstanding achievement, dedication, and excellence from the Danville School Board meeting, and we're delighted your parents able to join you.
Next, we'll move to item 4.3, recognizing Talha Atta, appointed Longwood Region FBLA President. Let's give a round of applause. Izzy.
Awesome. The Future Business Leaders of America inspires, prepares, and assists students in becoming community-minded business leaders through career preparation, networking, and leadership. Galileo Magnet School's FBLA members recently competed in the Virginia FBLA Spring Leadership Conference held at Longwood University. Our students represented the school exceptionally well, earning several top finishes across an objective test, presentations, and role playing. We had several first place winners. We had Ghana Albase, and I didn't practice that a little bit more. Malik Albase, Mayor Albase. We had Mr. Atta, third place in economics and second place job interview. David Baranye, second place introduction to business concepts. Raymond Go, first place sports and entertainment management. Emmanuel Gomez Ariello, second place real estate. Sharon Lee, second place parliamentary procedure. Sophia Lee, second place organizational leadership. Mr. Patel, first place customer service. Nelson Showalter, third place sports. Samantha Van Alpstel, first place business. And Carter Wilson, first place human resources. And this is major for our students to be able to go to a spring conference and do so very well. But the reason we have Mr. Atta here this evening to be recognized is because oftentimes when we go to these events, they do select a state president. And to have a state president, the FBLA state president from Danville Public Schools in Galileo is pretty major, and we're very proud of you. This reads in honor of your appointment as the Longwood Region FBLA president, a distinguished leadership role recognizing your commitment, your service, and dedication to future business leaders of America. Your achievement reflects outstanding character and leadership. And we wanted to present you with this plaque from the school board and thank you for representing us so very well. And we wish you well through your service throughout this next year. Thank you so much.
Competition recognition. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Barnes.
Good evening, Chairman Graves, Vice Chair Cunningham, School Board, and Dr. Hairston. We're here for the Danville Public School Robotic Competition. And actually, the competition is a district-wide level. It was held March the 13th from 9:30 to 12. It was at Glenwood Auditorium. And every school in the district competed on it from grades 3rd through 5th. And what it involved was problem solving with our Lego robotics. And so what each competition, they went through 3 rounds, and for each round it was 2.5 minutes. And so the teams that actually had the most robotics, that had the most functions, were the winners. And so for the winners, the first place was Gibson, second place was Park Avenue, and then the third place was Schofield. And who we brought with us today were the winners, which is Gibson Elementary School. If you don't mind, please coming up, Gibson.
Next, we'll move to item 4.5, School Library Month. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Williams, and if Ms. Barnes would come forward.
Danville Public Schools Proclamation, School Library Month, April 2026. Whereas libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can find joy through exploration and discovery. And whereas libraries serve as a vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and cultural enrichment. Whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. Whereas libraries partner with schools, businesses, and organizations to maximize resources, increase efficiency, and expand access to essential services, strengthening the entire community. Whereas libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEAM programming, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love for learning that lasts a lifetime. Whereas dedicated Danville Public Schools librarians and library workers provide welcoming spaces that inspire discovery, collaboration, and creativity for all. Whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers across the country are joining together to celebrate National Library Week under the theme Find Your Joy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Danville, Virginia does hereby proclaim April 2026 as School Library Month and April 19th through 25th, 2026 as National Library Week, and calls upon school administrators, teachers, students, and citizens of Danville to visit their school library, explore its resources, and celebrate all ways that the library helps our community find joy. Signed this, adopted the Danville School Board on March 19, 2026, Mr. Taquan Graves, School Board Chair, Dr. Angela Harrison, Superintendent.
Good evening. I have the privilege of presenting to you several times a year on our reading initiatives and all of the things going on in across our district with reading, and these are some of the people who make it happen. On the screen are the names of all of our wonderful library media specialists. We are extremely blessed, and thank you all for providing the funding to have school librarians in our schools. As Dr. Williams just read, the theme of School Library Month this year is Find Your Joy. I feel joy every time I go into one of our libraries, and I know that many of our students do as well. Research has shown over and over the impact of school librarians, and you can see from the graphic that having a librarian in a school is linked to improved standardized reading test scores, but their impact goes so far beyond that. I think the quote that I have here is really important. It says, "The modern library isn't a museum of books. It's a place where students loosen their shoulders, try things without being judged, and remember that learning can feel good again. The library helps students rebuild themselves one quiet victory at a time. It's not therapy, but it is therapeutic." And again, I see that every day in our libraries. Our media specialists come up with the most creative lessons. They have had students create their own book covers as they're learning about titles and authors and illustrators. They've come up with awesome incentives for reading and just all kinds of wonderful projects in collaboration with art teachers and history teachers and teachers from every content area. And so I just want to really celebrate them tonight and all of the wonderful work that they are doing. Thank you to our media specialists.
Good evening. I am Cynthia Jeffries. I am the media specialist at Arnett Hills Elementary School.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Wood. I'm the library media specialist at Woodbury Hills Elementary School.
Good evening, I'm Alyssa Berkeley. I'm the library media specialist at Activate STEM Academy.
Let's give them another round of applause. Next, we'll move to item 4.6, Child Abuse Prevention Month, and at this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Cunningham. And I'll welcome Ms. Jones to the podium, please.
Danville Public Schools Proclamation, Child Abuse Prevention Month, April 2026. Whereas the children of Danville, Virginia are our most valuable resource and will shape the future of our community, and whereas the well-being of our students in Danville Public Schools is essential to the growth of our city, and we recognize the need to foster safe, supportive, and nurturing environments for their academic, social, and emotional development, and whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, affects many children and families, requiring a collective response from all members of our community. And whereas preventing child abuse and neglect is best achieved through strong partnerships between families, schools, child welfare professionals, law enforcement, and community organizations. And whereas positive childhood experiences, such as safe and nurturing relationships, can mitigate the effects of trauma and promote healthy development. And whereas we are committed to advancing programs and policies that strengthen families, provide support, and prevent child abuse in our community. And now, therefore, the Danville School Board hereby recognizes April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month and calls on all community members, organizations, and schools to actively participate in initiatives and programs that support families, educate the public, and prevent child abuse and neglect. Through these collective actions, we can strengthen our schools and community. Adopted by the Danville School Board on March 19, 2026, Tycon Graves, School Board Chair, Dr. Angela Harrison, Superintendent.
Good evening, Chair Graves, Vice Chair Cunningham, Superintendent Dr. Harrison, and members of the board. It's an honor to be able to highlight a special focus for the month of April. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and it serves as a critical reminder that protecting children is a shared responsibility that requires awareness, early intervention, and a collective commitment to creating safe, supportive environments where children can thrive. Here in our district, mandated reporters carry a special duty in this work. I'm going to ask Cherie Walker to share about this year's theme and the important responsibility of mandated reporters in our district.
This year's theme, Powered by Hope, but Strengthened by Prevention, reminds us that prevention doesn't just happen. It happens through intentional systems and also strong leadership. Mandated reporters save lives. Individuals serving children and families are required to recognize and respond to signs of abuse or neglect. Early identification of warning signs is critical for timely intervention. Reporting concerns help prevent further harm and promotes child safety and well-being. In closing, every action matters. When in doubt, act, because a child's safety depends on it. Thank you.
budget. At this time, the budget hearing is open, public hearing is open. Have any signed up?
No, sir.
Public hearing closed. Next, we'll move to item 6.1, public may address the board. Any signed up? Next, we'll move to item 7.1, VA LLSS mid-year overview. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. McCraw.
Good evening, Chairman Graves, Vice Chair Cunningham, esteemed members of the board, and Dr. Hairston. Tonight, Ms. Agner and I are here to share with you an update on VALS, one of our literacy screeners. VALS, formerly PALS, if you'll remember, stands for the Virginia Language and Literacy Screening System. It is a state-provided screener, and new this year, it also assesses grades 4 through 8, so pre-K through 8th grade. Now, this is kind of a unique screener. Grades pre-K through 3 are tested 3 times a year, at the beginning, in the middle of the year, and then again at the end, so it's coming up in a few weeks. And then 4 through 8, the new test, they test at the beginning and then the mid, and then take an SOL. And so what is VALS? I've just explained that they test different grades, different times of the year. There's different requirements for each grade. So in kindergarten and first grade, all students are screened in the fall, the mid-year is required, and all students are screened in the spring. In grade 2, it's the same for fall and mid-year, but in the spring, only students at moderate or high risk are required to test. And moderate or high risk are part of how students are identified in this assessment. In grade 3, students who test are students who are new to the division or to the state, and if we don't have scores from them from another division, students who received summer intervention services like summer school, and then students who failed the SOL if they were retained in grade 3. The mid-year is an optional progress monitoring piece for moderate and low-risk students, but we must test students who scored high risk in the fall. And then in the spring, all students in 3rd grade will take the reading SOL, but the screener is encouraged for students who are high or moderate risk earlier in the year. In grades 4 through 8, in the fall, only students who failed the reading SOL or tested with reading accommodations are required to be tested, or students new to Virginia Public Schools. At the mid-year, those same students test again, and then there is no spring test because of the SOL. The results we get vary by subtest, so there's actually a lot of things we track with the VALS assessment, but the major thing that we get is a risk assessment. So it bands of risk, high risk, moderate risk, and low risk. So high risk would be students that are the most likely to have ongoing reading difficulties. Those students qualify for what we call EIRI, the Early Reading Intervention Services, and those students must have a reading plan in place. Moderate risk students probably require additional explicit instruction to specifically in foundational reading skills, and the state highly recommends supplemental instruction based on where those students score on these assessments. And then the low risk category, these students are at the lowest risk for having reading difficulties, and the state encourages cumulative review of student progress. So these are our mid-year results. You'll notice this is broken down by grade level, so we're going to have several slides here. But kindergarten first and second are on this slide, and so you'll see fall and mid-year for each grade. What I'd like you to notice, if you look at kindergarten, for example, the green bars in the fall, kindergarten was that 21% of students were considered low risk, but by the mid-year, 48% of students were considered low risk. That number doubled. You'll notice the number of moderate risk students going down because the number of low risk increased, and the number of high risk also decreased because the number of low risk increased. That's the direction we want to see over the year, more students moving out of that high risk and either into moderate risk or low risk as we continue to develop skills. You'll see similar trends for each grade level. Notice that each grade in K1 and 2, where all students are assessed, the number of low-risk students did increase over the year. In comparison to some other divisions across the state, DPS is actually a member of a consortium called CIP. This is, we're a member with 75 other divisions across the Commonwealth, and we data share, so we can have comparisons like this. So you'll see that DPS in the fall had about 57% of students low or moderate risk. And then at the mid-year, 68%, that's approximately 19% growth in the positive direction. CIP had 65% of students low or moderate risk in the fall and 73% at the mid-year. That's only 12% growth, and while that's still growth, you'll notice that we are moving faster than the 75 divisions we can compare to. This is really great data for us. We can reach out to divisions who are performing higher and see what they're doing, maybe if there's something we're missing or haven't thought of yet. And then we also work with other divisions when they see how quickly we're growing to give them ideas and things of that nature. Looking at subgroups, the top chart, you'll see students with disabilities in grades K1 and 2 compared to the bottom chart, which is English language learners. You'll notice at kindergarten that the growth stalled over the year, and then strong growth in first grade and moderate growth in second grade. And then with English language learners, we have strong growth in kindergarten, exceptional growth in first grade, and moderate growth in second grade. The mid-year results, you're looking at grades 3 through 8. The reason this chart is separate from the K2 chart is that, remember, K2, all students were tested. 3-8, we do not have to test all students, only students that meet the criteria I shared in the beginning. So you'll notice here that we have growth in almost every grade, and then 5 and 6 stalled a little bit, or 2 slightly decreased, and Ms. Agner is going to talk about what we're doing in those instances. This is the subgroup look for grades 3 through 8. You'll see exceptional growth in 3rd and 4th grade for students with disabilities, stalled for 5, declining for 6, exceptional for 7, and declining for 8. And then in English language learners, exceptional growth in grades 3 and 4, declining in 5 and 6, moderate in grade 7, and declining in grade 8. And again, Ms. Agner is going to talk about what we're doing in these instances of decline. And so I will hand this over to her.
Thank you, and good evening. We have lots of things that we do with our reading throughout the year. We have an intentional focus on interventions for students with reading plans, and we do that now through our Branching Mind system. And we're moving students that are below grade level to on or above. That's our goal. For example, this year in our first grade students, we had several students who were assigned to Ignite reading, and we've seen exceptional growth, especially among our EL students. We have smaller, tighter groups installed or declined areas with heavy monitoring, utilizing small group instructions that target student-specific needs, continuation of our implementation of HQIM, and we've also learned recently some things we need to do to step forward with that, with strong structured literacy instruction that ties our foundational skills to our reading comprehension skills. Progress monitoring through formative and summative assessment, and continuing to build reading stamina. Our students read extremely long passages, and so we need to do that all along the way. So what should parents do, or what can parents do to help us? Read with your children early and often. Read frequently the same passages over and over so that they can improve their fluency and become smooth readers. Build vocabulary just through everyday conversations. Point out things as you're driving down the street. Give it them its proper name to build that vocabulary. Discuss letter names and sounds. Monitor student performance and talk with your child's teachers. Ensure your child is attending school regularly, prepared to learn. Encourage them on the days that we have testing. Limit passive screen time. Instead of playing a game, hand them a book. And I'm going to add one more in here that I didn't put on here. Model reading for your child. Let your child see you enjoying the book. And then there's family resources that are available at the link here through the Virginia Education, but it's the University of Virginia, and it gives several opportunities for students to have games with their parents that go over letter sounds and letter names and recognizing words and decoding and encoding. So those are some things that we suggest for parents to help us with. And we appreciate the opportunity, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Ms. Walker?
Thank you for this information. So in regards to, I know the next assessment you said will be in the spring. If for some reason they are still at a, I guess a higher risk, what would be the interventions of what happens after that in regards to what would be the next step if the levels were still at?
Yes, ma'am. The reading plans will be modified, monitored. We change them consistently to meet the needs of the students. And I believe Dr. Babel is going to talk to you about our summer school program this evening that will address some of those needs as well.
Thank you again for the presentation. Ms. Actor, could you also talk about the partnership that we have with our public libraries with library cards in honor of library month?
Yes, we do. All of our students have a library card simply through being a Danville Public Schools student. They go to the library, they can check out books. They can do online books through the public library, and we definitely work with our library. We take all of our kindergartners on a field trip to the Danville Public Library so they can explore and see and go home and tell their parents about the great things that are offered there. And our library in Danville does quite extensive programming. Every week they have something for families to go and work together, explore the books, but also to build things together. So we have a great library here in Danville.
Any others? Any others? Thank you. Next, we'll move to item 7.2, summer school programming, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Babelo.
Good afternoon, Chair Graves, Vice Chair Cunningham, school board members, and Dr. Harrison. I'm here to provide an update on our 2026 summer school learning plans. And this year, we made a deliberate shift. Instead of offering broad access, we are prioritizing targeted impact, specifically for students who are not yet performing on grade level. It's connected to some of the data that was presented by Ms. McCraw and Ms. Agner, and we're using some of that information to adjust our summer programming. So I just want to remind us about a quote from Jim Collins. Good is the enemy of good. So this year, we are choosing not to be satisfied with good. We are good. We are designing great outcomes for our students who need it the most. So in previous years, our summer school was widely available to all students. Even if they didn't need summer school offerings, we accepted any kid who applied to participate in summer school. So we are still offering multiple opportunities for summer school, such as enrichment camps and virtual acceleration options in summer school. But this year is going to be more intentionally designed to meet specific needs for students who have not yet performed on grade level. So it's not about doing more, it's about doing what works for our kids. So just to talk a bit, so we're pivoting to precision over exposure. So we've conducted deep and looked at successful models to redesign our approach. We have studied high impact models such as the Mississippi Literacy Games. We have also partnered with DRF, and we did a presentation a couple of board meetings ago with Suzanne Bell with the Out of School Time Collaborative to learn from strong performing divisions. We went to Greenville, South Carolina, and learned about their programs. So as a result, we're making several key shifts. So for example, we're pivoting from open access to targeted student identification. We're pivoting from mixed academic focus, where in the past we did everything, science, history, social studies, CTE, we did it all, to now more data-driven acceleration aligned to the VALs, the presentation Ms. McCall and Ms. Agner just presented, EMAS, which is our kindergarten math data, and our SOL data, which our students take in grades 3 through high school. We're also pivoting from broad credit recovery. In the past, in the summer, Any kid who's wanting to sign up, they can come to credit recovery. But this year, we're tightening the focus to be on juniors and seniors who are at risk for not graduating on time, so they can meet that mark this year and next year for the juniors. Pivoting from limiting progress monitoring to building in real-time progress tracking and instructional adjustments in time during summer school for our not yet met the mark. We're also strengthening our staffing for summer, so we're going to reduce the teacher-student ratio. In the past, we had it 1:20. We're going to have it 1:15 and 1:10, depending on the group and what they need. And in our SPED remediation, in our SPED summer school, they would have ultra small groups, like 1 to 2 or 1 to 8. So as we move forward, this is just not more summer school, it's smarter, more accountable summer learning. So this is our offerings for this year. We will have extended school year, which is for our students with disabilities. We will have K-8 targeted acceleration, and that's for grade level readiness in literacy and mathematics. We will have the high school academy, which is protecting that on-time graduation for our juniors and seniors. We will have summer enrichment camps, which drives engagement and fun and excitement and readiness during the summer. And then we will also have virtual learning options for students in 6th through 12th grade who are ready to accelerate their coursework over the summer. So I'm going to go through each program slide by slide so you can hear the specific components of that program. So the first program I'm going to talk about is the K-8 targeted acceleration. So this program is designed for K-3 students who have been identified as high risk on VALS. So that's the students who still need another push over the summer to get that targeted intensive support to get to grade level. And we're going to model it after the research we have learned from other higher performing divisions that have made the mark. It would also be for students in grades 3 through 8 who score at level 2 on the SOL in reading or math, so we can get them to the next level. So the focus in K-8 is only on literacy and mathematics. And you might ask, why only literacy and mathematics? Well, I have the answer. Y'all want to hear it? All right. Well, when students can read and they can compete on grade level, their performance improves across all others: science, history, CTE, if they have that foundation. So that's why we're pivoting to focus on that. So it would include evidence-based, high-quality instructional materials. It would be skill-based grouping. So it won't be just a class with random students. We're going to look at the data, the VALS data that Ms. McCall shared and other data, and group them based on what they need so that the teacher can provide targeted instruction for that group and not have to be spread thin like a regular classroom. It would be small groups. And then we would have weekly progress monitoring with immediate instructional adjustments in real time. So this is acceleration. So kids in our program will have more lessons, so we have a longer time for them. So traditionally, you might have a 90-minute block. In the summer, for one subject, it'll be 3 hours. So they can have more time to accelerate and catch up. So if we don't address these issues now, we pay for it where? In high school. And then Mr. Kressel and Ms. Ramsey is like, what's going on? We have to work harder in high school. So we have these things during the school year, but some kids need a little bit more. So our high school academy will focus on, like I said earlier, seniors who are the closest to the finish line, but they need just a little more push. So they will come in the summer. The juniors who are at risk of falling off track for on-time graduation, and they will also have intentional grouping as well and smaller class sizes so that we can ensure that we're providing that support, so then our teachers will be focused on only those 2 groups. The program would include like 3 components where we're preparing students to retake the SOL or work keys assessments or CTE assessments that are needed for them to graduate. We will also have credit recovery for students who only need that but doesn't need a state assessment. And then we have some seniors that need even more than that. They may need 4 classes and an SOL. So we would have individualized paths for those seniors to try to get them to that July 2026 summer graduation date. So it's not a general catch-up. Every seat is tied directly to a graduation outcome. The next one is extended school year, which is protecting our vulnerable learners, which is our student with disabilities. This ensures that we meet both the student needs and the federal requirements. So the students who participate in this program, their IEP teams have determined that they are at risk for regression. So they will attend this program. And it will be individualized and targeted, aligned to their IEP, intensive daily instruction. They will also have functional skills support as well. So some students may need speech, some students may need OT, occupational therapy, or physical therapy. They would get that in the summer as well. And it's ultra small groups for this group, 1 to 2 or 1 to 8. Our summer enrichment camps, we will continue with those, and we're expanding it to some new opportunities or bringing back old opportunities for our students in grades K through 8. So the returning camps are Camp Invention, the Cyber Camp, and Governor's School. That's not listed on the slide, but we're having Governor's School as well. And then we're returning camps that we've had in the past, like Kindergarten Jumpstart. That's coming back into play so we can prepare students before they start kindergarten. And that's for students who haven't went to like preschool or DPS preschool. And then we're also gonna have the EL camp back this year. And we talked about that a little bit with the DRF presentation, but we are partnering with the YMCA for that camp, where they're gonna come and do like Zumba classes, line dance classes with our students. So the purpose of all the camps is hands-on experiences, engaging experiences, STEM, language development, early literacy, and advanced learning. This is the last option that we're offering, which is virtual acceleration options, which is through Virtual Virginia and Edgenuity. And this is where students could take synchronous, where they have a teacher online, or asynchronous opportunities. And if you notice on the screen, we have math, we have content area options, world language options, CTE options, and final options for our students to select. This is for students in grades 6 through 11. So we're also going to have a dashboard this year to actually monitor the data weekly in summer school so we can see how each kid is progressing. So our goal is to have quantitative and qualitative data on a live dashboard where we're monitoring literacy growth with VALS data. We're monitoring math progress with EMAS and SOL mock assessments, post-assessments, course completion for high school students, and then also their verified credits, which is their SOL in the high school. So if students don't grow, we would know because we would adjust immediately by having that live tracker. So what we're trying to drive home with all of this adjustments in the pivot is to have stronger early literacy foundation, increased math readiness across all grades, higher SOL performance, and increased on-time graduation for our students over summer. So this is what the schedule would look like. So we design our schedule intentionally to maximize impact and access, and we have some key shifts to this summer compared to how we've done it in the past. So for example, the K-8 summer school is moving to July because we want to reduce the summer learning loss and connect it directly to the new year. We typically did it in June, so then they had a month break, and then we felt like we were restarting again. So we're gonna do it in July, so that it can be connected. We also moved it so that our students can participate in camps in June and then summer school in July, so they can do both opportunities. So the high school academy is June 8th through 25th. The summer schools academies are June 15th through 18th, the summer camps, that is for ESY, cyber, and camp invention. July 13th through the 23rd is kindergarten jumpstart. We want to do that closer to the start of the year. The summer school for K-8 is in ESY, which is extended school year, is June 29th to July 23rd. The virtual learning is from June 2nd to July 10th. And then all programs are free to students. Transportation is included, and we provide breakfast and lunch. We want to make sure there's no barriers. And then lastly, about the registration timeline, so that families can hear about this as well. We are identifying our students in April and May to identify who would be invited to summer school. Summer camps is open invitation. Summer acceleration virtual is open invitation. Anybody can come. But the actual summer school will get a personalized invite. They will get those in early May. And then they will have to register by May 22nd for high school in the June camps. And then May 29th for summer school, K-8, and then the July camps. And then we will verify enrollment and confirmation and send that out to families in late May, early June, and have all our rosters and everything finalized before the program launch. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions? Mr. Payne?
Dr. Babalola,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for this presentation. You know, this is something that we talk about every year,
Yes.
and I really do appreciate this. Before we move forward with my question, can you repeat your quote again, please?
From the beginning,
Yes, the quote,
good is the enemy of great. That one?
yes.
Yes. Good is the enemy of great. And we are good. But we're gonna be what? Great. That's why we're making changes.
Great, I love that.
Yes.
My question for you, for our juniors, how will that be presented to them? Will it be set up as a meeting? Will it be set up for parents to come in to focus on this? Will this be presented in their sophomore year, looking into the junior year, so they'll know exactly what they're walking into, et cetera? And then also, the information for the parents. How would that be set up? If you could elaborate on that as well.
Okay, so for the juniors and seniors, currently, juniors and seniors who are at risk and off track, they have a plan. And in that plan, it includes summer school, so they can graduate on time. We're also going to have meetings with the families of those students, seniors and juniors. Again, they've already had them, but again, to remind them that they need to come to summer school, and they'll have a personalized letter. And then for all the programming, it will be on the website. We will send robocall, and we send personalized letters to the K-8 camp students as well.
My last question, the guidance counselor that will be covering this at George Washington High School, will we have training for them?
Yeah, well, they've already had training on the plan, so we've seen all the plans, the plans that each at-risk student has.
Okay.
And then we're gonna follow up with them to make
Well,
sure that.
I was referring to the plan to how to present the information.
Oh, yeah, yes, and we're gonna be there too. We won't
Okay.
just have them by themselves.
All right, sounds
Mhm,
good.
It'll
Thank
be
you.
somebody from the district office too.
Ms. Walker? Hit your mic, please.
This is a awesome program, strategic pivot, awesome summer support, system. So, I know usually you didn't say anything about as far as, this is an excellent program. Just out of curiosity, because I think it's well-deserved acknowledged, who helped with this collaboration? This is an amazing,
Well, it was a complete team effort between curriculum instruction, operations, and our partnership with DRF. Because we have a team for 2 years that been on the out-of-school time training and leadership, and they've been to multiple places, and it's been a collaboration with even finance that has been a part, and human resource. It's been a big team collaboration. It's not one person.
I asked that question.
It's a whole team effort.
Ms. Avery?
Thank you again, Dr. Babalola, for an amazing presentation. I am very excited. I wanna be able to look at that dashboard.
Yes, me too.
As the data comes in. So I commend you and the rest of the team, for focusing back on those foundational skills through targeted instruction and grouping the students by needs. I'm me. I think that right there is gonna definitely send us to great. I did have one question. Mississippi.
Miracle, it's called the Mississippi Miracle for Reading. Their state superintendent, in 2013, put in, like, we have a real literacy act, but that came 2021. She put it in place for the whole state. And they moved from like 49th in the nation to like 4. With strategies throughout the school year, which we implement, we kind of model it. And then the summer program, we're gonna model it after that.
Awesome, awesome job. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Any others? Ms. McLaughlin?
In previous years, I know with the staffing, we've looked outside. Are we still looking for licensed teachers outside to include our teachers in-house?
Yeah, so we're gonna have internal and external, and only the best teachers who have the highest performing scores, so that we can get that same impact with our students. Yep.
Any others? Any others? I think that deserves a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we'll move to item 8.1, capital projects update, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Harris.
Thank you, Chair Graves, Vice Chair Cunningham, and board members. Wanted to bring you an update on our capital projects to let you know where we are in moving forward. I always like to bring this chart forward to you to remind us of our schools, the number of schools we have, and the dates that those schools were built and open, and the areas that we review when we're deciding how to best address capital and create the best environments for our students. We're excited to open Arnett Hills. I was there this morning. Still a really robust and dynamic learning environment. We're still very proud of Arnett Hills and all that they're doing there. But that is certainly just one of many facilities that we need to continue to address. Just remind us of where we were just a minute ago, it seems, or just a few months back, and how we have come so far to replace GLH Johnson, which still stands to serve our child care center and our Northside preschool. Langston, built in 1957, was an exciting project. Unlike Arnett, it was a renovation. And with renovations, there comes lots of surprises. Walter and I talk about this a lot. Oftentimes, you're not aware of what's around the corner until you dig that hole or remove that seat, and you realize there's lots of work to be done. But thankfully, we have Galileo and on the campus, very exciting environment. We had lunch there last week, really good. They're continuing to work on the track, continuing to work on the football field, and that should be completed by August. Another central office gives us another place to work, and we're not renting space, so this is space that we pay utilities on, and it provides ample work space for our staff. In the back, we have our amazing academy, Innovate Academy. You can go in and find children working with drones, the mechatronics program, 3D printers, middle schoolers doing just great work under the leadership of Dr. Stone and Dr. Barnes. And of course, our History Hub, we actually have people coming to see the History Hub. They come in to visit and to learn more about the John and Langston campus. And so very, very exciting. Again, last year, this is where we were, no floors, and really working hard to open on time. And GW High School, we're so excited about the CTE program, the space that's allowed, that's afforded to children, and all of the new renovations and the cafeteria spaces that are there. So that was a task for sure. The CTE program, the dental, nursing, all new spaces, and it's amazing. But just to remind us that this was done in phases. Arnett Hills was a new facility. Students remained at Johnson. The Langston campus, we remained at the central office. Galileo students remained in the Sears building in their home. But GW was a phased program. We started with the ninth grade academy and second floor. We had lots of people posting all types of pictures about the internal part. It was a task for the students, and it was a challenge for the administrative team because we were moving students from one part of the building to the other. We had a phase 2 site, phase 3 and 4. We did not have swing space, but all came about. Everyone was extremely cooperative toward the as we moved into the project and understood where we were going, and we felt really good about our end result. But again, it was a phased project. Other projects that we were able to, or have been able to, work on since 2022, when the sales tax was passed for 2021, was I.W. Taylor, the interior upgrades, the parking, and furniture. That has made a nice, wonderful environment for our Activate students, challenging environment for our STEM work. Bonner and Westwood, for those who may not be aware, we had interior upgrades and furniture. Glenwood for renovation. We continue to work. We met today on the skilled trades that will house our skilled trades center, and we continue to have grant funds, so that is in process. Gibson roofing and paint, and Park Avenue paint and restroom upgrades, just to name a few of the projects that we have worked on in addition to the others. That brings me to Forest Hills. Forest Hills Elementary is a phased project similar to George Washington. But unlike George Washington High School was funded from bonds that are paid back. Those debt services are paid back through the sales tax. Forest Hills is funded through a collection of the 1% sales tax in addition to the $8.5 million grant, and that's how we will fund Forest Hills. It is a phased project. So we've completed the architectural design, which many of you have seen. We've had community input and feedback. Our plan was to move our students this summer, was to move them to Johnson as swing space and continue with the construction. However, after meeting with the administration, they asked us to condense the amount of time that they would be out of the building in swing space. It could be 3, maybe 4 years in a phased approach. But we feel comfortable that we can do a lot of pre-construction work with students still in the building, and that's what they have requested. So the pre-construction work will include the removal of the Conway House. We will put out an RFP very soon to have the house moved and have that area fenced in. The Conway House is a home that was purchased last year. That home will be moved to the GW campus and refurbished for our special education students as they work on their life skills program. We also will begin the process of clearing out the elementary school. So we've designated where the trash bins and all will go. We were out there today, and each grade level will be asked to clear out the building. Rather than them moving and we clearing it out, they will clear that out during this process. And we felt pretty good about asking them to do that. It took quite a bit of time to move the Johnson teachers to Arnett. It was quite a task. Elementary school teachers have a lot of things, and they hang on to them with a great level of passion. And so we looked at the time it took. I think it was about 4 to 5 months to really get them packed up and things cleared out. So we can do that with the teachers at Forest Hills. The contractor will start their bidding in January for the subcontractors, and that's when we'll be able to move the children. And so that will condense the time that they're out of the building. And we just wanted to alert you all to that. And this gives us an overview. The Conway House, we plan to move from August to 2026. Clear classrooms, September 26 to March 27. Transition to Johnson and begin our construction cycle, which appears to be a delay, but really it is pre-construction work that we would have done anyway. Okay. Other projects that we will be working on will be continue the work at Glenwood, the Skilled Trades Center. Students will be housed at GW High School in the fall for the courses for skilled trades, and transition to Glenwood in January 2027. We will be adding an elevator during that period of time. We found out today we could add the elevator by January 2027 rather than 28, and add parking. We also plan to do some interior upgrades, furnishings, and parking at Woodbury, Park Avenue, and Schoolfield, which are elementary schools. We have plans to work on the parking at Activate. We do need a roof at Bonner. We do not have a timeline for that. We don't know within the next 3 to 4 years we will need to replace that roof. And George Washington High School, we have an aquatic center design, but no timeline on that particular project. Just wanted to remind us of the referendums of the counties, and we do track their work compared to ours. They said yes to the 1% sales tax. We know there's pending legislation to afford all communities the opportunity to vote on the 1% sales tax for their capital projects, and we hope that that does pass for them. We know that the 1% sales tax in lieu of the real estate tax certainly does favor our community, as we know that a lot of the taxes are paid from people outside. There was a dip in our sales tax for several months, for about 6 months. There was a dip in our sales tax, and we heard that report from Michael Atkins at the city. But thankfully, the last report that we had showed us right where we needed to be and at the same level as last year. Again, when we report to the state, we are so excited that Forest Hills will be on that positive side once done. The GLH Johnson will be on a great side of restoration with a new school. GW, Galileo, Langston are all schools in great shape. O.T. Bonner, Schoolfield, and Westwood are no longer in poor condition, in great shape. The Glenwood campus and Activate Center are in really good shape relative to what we offer children and the environments. And the schools that we need to focus on within the next several years will, of course, be Gibson, Woodbury, and Park Avenue. Any questions?
Any questions? Any questions?
Yes.
Just one, in regards to John H. Langston, you had mentioned that sometimes there are community personnel that would like to visit. Could you, I guess, give information if you are someone that may want to look at that property?
Sure, they visit down. Ms. Richardson will allow them in, and they visit and take a look at the history hub that's there in the main office. Now, if they want to visit the area by the gym, which a lot of people get to see because of the basketball games, the community games there, they would have to check in through the main office as a visitor.
Any other? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, we'll move to item 8.2, Piedmont Governor School Committee update. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Walker.
Thank you. Good evening again. The Piedmont Governor's School met on March 17, 2026. Governor Board attendees, Keisha Walker, Chair, Yvonne Gibbons, Vice Chair, George Henderson, Representative for School Board Member for Pennsylvania County, Tiffany Gravely, Director, Dolores West, Clerk, Superintendents attending, Dr. Angela Harrison, Danville City, Dr. Zeb Talley, Martinsville City, and Mr. Stephen Mayhew, Pennsylvania County. The meeting was held at the Institute of Advanced Learning and Research. We recognized George Henderson that had a 10-year tenure with the Piedmont Governor School Board. We also recognized Dr. Angela Harrison for Regional 6 Superintendent of the Year. Mrs. Gravely gave a director's report. Mrs. Gravely is making great strides with the recruitment process and selection for students 2026-2027 school year. She discussed the enrollment and the testing data in regards to the applicants for that school year of 2026-2027. Also, we did an overview of the governor's school calendar for next school year. Some dates that important dates were senior trip, April 10th, 6th through the 10th. Senior research symposiums, April 27th to May 1st is at the Institute for Advanced and Learning Research. May 4th through the 11th is at Patrick Henry Community College. There is a senior luncheon and recognition award. May 8th, Patrick Henry Community College. May 11th at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research. We discussed 2027 budget for Piedmont's Governor School. In regards to that, budget priorities was to promote greater equity by designating specific funds for the purchase of senior research projects and materials and field trips. Another was to continue to provide salary increases for staff in order to recruit and retain highly qualified staff and professional development. And lastly, to continue to invest in replace instructional technology in order to provide the latest in instructional tools for students and staff. Also, just a reflection on the budget in regards to House and Senate budget. Last year, 2020-26 was $813,397. This year is, 2027 would be an increased $991,192. That's a 2% for salary increase. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Next, we'll move to item 8.3, Governance Committee update. I'll turn it over to Ms. Avery.
Good evening again. The Danville School Board Governance Committee met on March 17, 2026 at 5 p.m. at the Danville School Board office. In attendance were Ms. Keisha Averett, Chair, Ms. Casey Cunningham, Member, Ms. Takesha Walker, Member, and Dr. Angela Hairston, Superintendent. Old business discussed was the ongoing creation of governance manual under the Board Committee section. The committee discussed name change for what was formerly known as the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee, and will seek further guidance from Dr. Hairston and Dr. Babalola on the new committee name and description. New business discussed. Committee was presented with two options for the superintendent evaluation calendar. Each were discussed in detail. And in addition, the committee reviewed superintendent evaluation policies and regulations. It was decided that the committee would present the evaluation calendar that more closely matches the timeline suggested through training for full board approval. Meeting was adjourned.
Any questions? Any questions? Thank you. Next, we'll move to 9.1, Personnel Recommendations. Turn it over to Ms. Winberg.
Good evening, Chairman Graves, Vice Chair Cunningham, Dr. Hairston, and members of the board. You've been presented with personnel recommendations for your review, consideration, and approval. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Any questions? This is an action item.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the personnel recommendation as printed.
A second.
Motion made by Mr. Payne, second by Dr. Williams. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call for vote.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. McLaughlin,
Yes.
Ms. Avery,
Yes.
Ms. Walker, Mr. Gray.
Yes, thank you. Next, we'll move to item 10.1, board requests for information for future agenda items. Mr. Payne.
Yes, I would like to see if we can get a report on the IEP testing across the board for the district. Yes. Not only the process, but how many we're waiting to complete. Just a full report. Thank you.
Any others?
Mr. Graves, Chair Graves, if Dr. Harrison would like, she can actually send it to the board members or make a full report.
Any others? Any others? All right. We do have a work session following our regular session. Any further business? Any further business? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you.